Easy now, it's old boy 82 and this is that random content channel. I did the Parkhurst Tales chapter 2 before, but I had a little bit of some bullshit that I had to do. So I think I stopped round about here. I was telling you, Ken pointed out to the chalky on the right of its tiny wired covered exercise yard. On the left was a separate building surrounded by high walls. This prison was within a prison, the security wing. I've told you all about this, right? At the bottom of the hill, we turned a sharp right and we came to an open gate on our left. We went through into the compound. There several workshops at the far end, both brick built and prefabricated. Immediately in front of us was a large tarmac football area that adjoined a tarmac basketball court. Bit strange that a basketball course, we don't really do that over here. But anyway, right, both were full of people. The football area, however, was ridiculously overcrowded. There's been 40 players. Yeah, I read all this. There's one guy in all white and blah blah blah, and he seemed like he was proper football. They said it wouldn't have been out of character for it to be a Benny Hill thing. Anyway, he certainly haven't looked out of place in Benny Hill. Right. Needless to say, under these conditions, the quality of football left a lot to be desired. In fact, it wasn't football as I'd ever seen it played. The pitch was as crowded that it was impossible to run with the ball. As soon as it appeared, the players would just lash it wildly with their feet. It reminded me of these amusement arcade games where at the flick of a lever, miniature wooden footballers swung a leg at a little plastic ball. It's the beauty of right. A lot of nutters here, Norman, said Ken. Probably feeling that some explanation was due to me. I think I pretty much knew. Not me, him. Some of them are quite dangerous, but we're a strong firm here. We have none of them come near us. I'd been looking carefully at these cons, and I'd already noticed a high proportion of crazy-looking fuckers. Nearly everyone looked aggressive or tough. Central casting could have hired them out as a prize crew for a pirate film. I remember I was reading that. We turned right at the tarmac area. The path led between some prefab workshops. Bloody fucking blah. Right. Where did I actually start? Right. Tight to the little touchline was a brick retaining wall at its top level with the pitch. Beyond this was a 2-foot drop to a concrete path. Players forced it into touch on this side would find that the ground had suddenly disappeared from beneath their feet, sending them crashing. Not surprisingly, broken legs were a regular occurrence. Any other setting, the pitch would have been seen bizarre. In Parkhurst, it was just right. It could have been designed for the place. As we walked, Ken, he told me about the Nick in general. All the cons, they had previous convictions and they were rejects from other jails. Many had seriously assaulted either screws or cons. Now believe me, that don't make you a reject, that makes you a fucking legend. Right. Many had seriously assaulted screws, cons before being moved there. Consequently, Parkhurst had the reputation of being the end of the line. It's like where you went when no one else could fucking handle you. That was my comment. It was full of people the system had even given up on. It came as no surprise that the parole rate was just negligible. All the vast majority of cons had to look forward to was 9 months on the hostel scheme at the end. On a long sentence, this was hardly enough to motivate anyone. The hostel schemes what happens is when you're coming towards the end of a long sentence, they're trying to reintegrate you into the world, and the hostel scheme is, we'll put them in these dorms where there's 3 of them together or 5 of them together or whatever. And they get their own little cooking equipment and bullshit and all that. You get that in Franklin and all that anyway. All the big jails, Long Lartin and all that. So it's just a load of shit, to be honest with you. It's just a way, well, it used to be just a way of getting people thrown out quickly. Now, they really give a shit less, to be honest with you. But it was rougher back then. Anyway, it came as no surprise that the pro way was there. According to Ken, Parkhurst wasn't just one jail, it was 4. There was the main jail, comprising wings A, B, and D. This was the normal location for most people, right? Second, there was the security wing with its dozen or so extra high-risk cons. People whose escapes couldn't even be contemplated. There'll be people like Ronnie and Reggie, fucking Charlie Bronson, people like that. I don't know if he was ever there, but fuck knows. Kenny Noy, people like that. I'll tell you a mad story about me and Kenny Noy, but Anyway, third, there was C-Wing, which was especially for psychiatric cases. This wasn't the only criteria, though, because if it had been, fucking hell, most of jail would have qualified. C-Wing was for highly dangerous psychiatric cases. All of them had severely injured screws or other cons. A couple have committed murders in the jail and got a life sentence. And when I say that, you'll hear about some later. Just remember the name Maudsley. Anyway, listen, the C-Wing regime, it was all kid glove treatment, unlimited psychotropic drugs. The atmosphere was extremely heavy. Some nutter or other would regularly go berserk and try and kill another nutter for little or no reason at all. It was very unpredictable, all of it. But jail is. Last there was the hospital wing. This house patience. They say patience, you know what I mean? You need patience to deal with most of the fuckers, that's what I'd say. But patience waiting for or recovering from operations, it's usually a lot of bullshit. It's just fucking faggots you fucking, I shouldn't say that, should I? Well, I should. Fucking knobheads, yeah. Who've either been fucking sucking cock off, fucking getting ass. So anyway, fuck it. Also, I was very violent cons awaiting certification, although certified and waiting for a place at Rampton or Broadmoor. Rampton and Broadmoor are two really high security, like hospital sort of places. There's Parkhurst as well. Therefore, like, Ronnie Cray ended up in one of them anyway. So for nutters who are dangerous and have the means to probably escape. The former kept in a locked ward, the latter on a landing called F2. F2 was a legend throughout the prison system. The hospital screws could handle anyone on F2. They would either beat the shit out of them, beat them senseless, and then drug them until they didn't know where they were coming or going. Men would be left in straitjackets for days on end. Any complaints were ignored as the ravings of lunatics. I had a glimpse on F2. A couple of days later, I was called over to the hospital for an interview with Dr. Cooper, the senior psychiatrist. As I sat waiting in a small reception area, I noticed a large partition that ran from the floor to the ceiling. I wandered over and peered through a window. I was looking at F2's landing. I was immediately struck by its strange appearance. Everything looked so terribly antiquated. It's like the decor matched the dull creams and browns of the mental hospitals of the 50s. And just let me tell you that they do that to make people feel dull and just like they don't want. If you put all bright blues and fucking put strobe lights everywhere, everybody's gonna act like they're at a fucking rave, aren't they? Like do it all dull and creamy and blah blah blah. Like anyway, the hot houses people who are problematic. It takes that energy out of you. It's hanging. I was immediately struck by a strange appearance. Blah, blah, blah. The hospital screws are all of the same type. Middle-aged, squat, corpulent, powerful looking. They want an ounce of compassion in the bastards. They looked like men who had seen so much suffering that they had long since become inured to it. They had just had no mercy at their hands. Subsequently and suddenly, several of them moved purposely towards an open area further down the landing. Here the cells spread out in an arc with a circular open space in front of them. There was a bright daylight coming in from the opposite side. I took this to be an open door to an exercise yard. The screws took up positions around the circular area. They stood with their backs to the wall, spaced 10 feet apart. When they were all in position, a screw went to one of the cells in the arc. Without looking through the spiral, he unlocked the door and opened it outwards, keeping himself behind it. Then he walked quickly to join the others, staying close to the wall all the time. Oh, you know something's going on in it. I watched this performance with amazement. It was all as if he was letting out a dangerous animal. I stared with mounting anticipation to see who or what the fuck would appear. For several seconds there was nothing. Then a figure shuffled into view. A black man of indeterminate age. It was difficult to discern his build because he was bent almost double. He was no giant. He ambled forward lopsidedly with an ape-like gait. The screws kept their faces pointed straight ahead. They looked feared, but their eyes swiveled to follow his every move. As he disappeared into the daylight, they broke from their positions along the walls and they followed him outside. The hospital screws at Parkhurst were known for overreacting. I wondered what manner of man could demand such a healthy respect from them. Although it's probably a fucking grass or somebody's fucking cannibal or some shit. Although the hospital screws ruled there too with brutality and fear. This wasn't the case in the rest of the jail. Ken explained that after the riot in '69 and all the bad publicity, they had to pull in the horns a bit. The heavy mob who gave out, we call them the Mufti Squad, yeah? Or the Tornado Team, that's what we call them now. Or the Men in Black, they're all pricks. They're all guys who got bullied and that, who couldn't make it in the army or the fucking police. They're just dickheads. The heavy mob who gave out all the kickings, they were broken up and dispersed to other jails. They want a literal regime, how many and there was an outby what means they used the regular organised beatings were no longer a feature. This was something I agreed to be grateful for in the months to come. The exercise period came to an end, and all the various footballers, basketball players, runners, walkers, watchers made their way out of the compound and back to the wings. Ken and I walked with the crowd, and as we entered D wing, we saw that the tea was about to be served. It was the usual Sunday prison tea, eggs, cheese, and salad. We went through into A-Wing and joined the queue. By the way, just let me tell you that Saturday and Sunday, right, you're behind your door at like 4 or 5 o'clock at best. And that's when they used to have association. Association used to mean you was out till about like 9 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock, in some jails even 10. But they were the private runs, but this is Parkhurst, a proper Her Majesty's prison, so HMPs. So anyway, that'd be out till about 8 o'clock from 5, so you get 3 hours out. So anyway, after you've had your tea, so it'd be 5, have your tea, maybe 2 hours. So anyway, went through into A-Wing, joined the queue. As we waited, Ken explained that A-Wing was the reception wing. Everyone started off there. Our reception wings are where people like test themselves, I'm telling you that. And they either stayed or moved over to B or D wing. D wing was supposed to be the most easy going. However, Ken had got used to A wing and would stay there for the duration. D wing would probably be like a fucking bit of a sweet grasses wing, a Leon Leonard wing. I was still taking it all in. My main priority was to escape. So good wings and bad wings didn't come into it. I would go into the one that offered me the best chance, and from what I had seen at Parkhurst so far, I couldn't have wait till I pop of it. Ken finished his 7 and he never looked back. He became a wealthy and successful businessman in Southampton. That's about Ken. And now we're fucking hit chapter 3. And there you go. I will see you on the next one. So boy, it's you. This is the Random Content Channel. Love yous. Hit subscribe and like, please. Bye bye. Mwah.